The next question says, can strength and hypertrophy have an interference effect? Meaning, is it better to block periodize one for each cycle, or can you combine both? Well, you can absolutely combine both, and we've been successfully combining both for a long time. So although that may mean that you don't maximize one or the other in the short term, over the medium, I would say medium or long term, I don't think it matters to any significant degree. So by doing, say, a single at an 8 RPE before you do your back off volume work, yes, that means that you're kind of mixing these objectives. It's not purely a strength focused workout, and it's not purely a hypertrophy focused workout. So the stimulus in any one direction is not as big as it could be. But over the medium or long term, those things tend to average out. I've seen no issues, like none, zero issues with people, being unable to gain strength, using a more complex approach, and then, we're not able to make that complex approach work, so we change to a more concurrent approach, and that fixes the problem. I've never seen that happen in my own practice. So I'm not saying it can't happen, but there's a lot of phenomenon that's out there that we kind of almost even take for granted in the coaching world that I just haven't seen pan out in practical application. So I would say that's one of them. And then there's kind of a part two to your question here. It says, you're asking me if I've read Scientific Principles of Strength Training. I have not. So I've not read it, so I don't have any good opinions on it. So sorry about that. But yeah, back to your first question as far as complex or concurrent, I think either one can work. We tend to favor a bit of both. We definitely have a phased approach. There are phases that emphasize one or the other, but I don't think that like if we say that a complex approach can't really work that well, then it kind of leads us down this path of thinking where it's got to be hardcore concurrent, and I don't see that as necessary. In fact, I've seen that as being counterproductive in some cases. So just my 2 cents on what I've seen in my coaching practice.